Hello everyone, this is part 17 of What If Naruto was trained by Anko, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto said his goodbyes to his friends and they promised to train hard and meet here in 2 weeks' time to have some fun. Naruto was now walking around the village while thinking about his future fight with Gaara. He wandered around the village until he passed the hot spring where he saw a figure peeking into the women's bath. Naruto quietly got closer trying to confront the L since he knew Anko and Kurenai liked to spend some time in the hot spring as well as many kunoichi. He thought about a minute searching to fight the best way to engage this peeping Tom and then a small but slightly evil smile crept onto his face. Anko had told him about a forbidden technique that was the ultimate punishment for any male L. He made his way over towards the man who he was too busy giggling and ogling at the women to notice the danger that slowly but surely got closer. Naruto now stood behind the L and crouched and put his hands together with both his index fingers pointed outwards. In one fast move he plunged his fingers into the man's behind while yelling out, Konoha Taijutsu Haiden, Sennen Goroshi. The next moment he saw how the man just shot up into the air, over the fence right into the women's bath. Naruto blinked and winced when he heard the screams and pleas for mercy and forgiveness from the man. He didn't feel any remorse though the man had deserved any bit of pain those women could inflict on him. Just then a bloody and beaten man was projected over the fence into the bushes. Naruto went over to check if the man had survived or if he would have to bring him to the hospital. Are you still alive? Need some help? Naruto said while poking the man in the ribs with his foot. Ha ha ha, this is nothing to the greatest of all men. The man with the long white hair said while getting up. Naruto was surprised since all the man's previous wounds seemed to have disappeared. The greatest of men. And you need to spy on women. You're just AL, nothing more if you ask me. Naruto said, doubting the man. I'm not AL. I'm a super L. The man said. Right. That's even worse than before. Being AL is nothing to be proud of, you know. Naruto said, not believing someone would be proud to be AL. You stupid Gaki. Being AL is a way of life. To appreciate the beauty of women, to enjoy the pleasures of the F is the only way a man should live, but then again I guess a Gaki like yourself wouldn't be able to understand those things. The man answered, starting to piss Naruto off. I'm not a Gaki, UL. I'm a proud shinobi of the leaf and the future Hokage as well. Naruto said, not believing this man could piss him off enough to start yelling like he used to do. Future Hokage, ha. Tell me kid, where did you learn that horrible technique that you used on me? I can't believe that it still exists. The man said while becoming a little more interested in the young shinobi in front of him. My sensei told me it is the ultimate jutsu against LS like you. She also said that every kunoichi in Konoha knows how to use it. Naruto said. Damn that Tsunade and her evil technique. I should have known that she would teach it to others. He said while grinding his teeth. Tsunade, you know, one of the legendary Sannin. I find that hard to believe. Naruto said. Of course I know Tsunade and the legendary Sannin. I'm one of them. I'm the Toad Sannin Jiraiya. The man said, introducing himself while doing a little dance. You're that Jiraiya. The Jiraiya that taught my dad. Naruto said, now getting more and more excited at meeting the L. He couldn't believe his luck. This was the man that taught his father when he was a genin. Maybe the man would help him train as well. Your dad. Tell me Gaki, what is your name? Jiraiya said, already having a good idea who this kid was. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, son of Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina. Naruto said proudly. Every time he spoke of his parent he felt very proud of them. I see. Now that you mention that, you do look a lot like your parents. They were some of the greatest people I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. You can be proud of them. Jiraiya said, looking at Naruto. So you did teach my dad when he was just a genin. He mentioned your name in his book on seals and wrote that you taught him a lot about them. Naruto asked impatiently. Yeah Gaki, your dad was my best student. He was talented like no other shinobi I have ever met in my life. He was without a doubt one of those shinobi you only see once in a lifetime. Jiraiya said while remembering those times. He looked at Naruto and his was kind of surprised how strong and mature the kid actually looked. He wondered how much of Minato's genius the kid had inherited. Judging by his first impressions, he had to conclude that the kid actually looked very talented. He decided to stick around a bit and talk to the son of his prized disciple. So tell me, Gaki, how did you know about your parents? I doubt Sarutobi-sensei told you about them. Jiraiya asked. Naruto then told Jiraiya about how he had gotten a scroll from his dad which explained everything about him and his mother, the Kyuubi, and their final mission for him. He also told how his dad had included the notes for his jutsus and that he had managed to master one of them already. He didn't tell which one though. He figured that if the man wanted to know he would ask him. Jiraiya listened to Naruto's explanation, but when he heard Naruto saying that he had mastered one of his dad's jutsu, he seemed to be a bit skeptical. Those jutsu were a rank of higher. There was no way a young shinobi could master those moves. Still, he decided to ask for proof. You never know, right? Really? You mastered one of his moves? Care to show me what jutsu you have learned? Jiraiya said, doubting he would see something remotely like Minato's jutsu. Guess you don't believe me, huh? No matter, I'll show you Ero Sennin. Naruto said, smirking. He would enjoy this, he thought. The look on the man's face will be worth the trouble. He then held out his hand and started concentrating, and not a second later a perfect Rasengan formed in his hand. Jiraiya, who was expecting anything but a perfect Rasengan, just stood there shocked that the young boy performed a technique like the Rasengan at such a young age. Not only did it look perfect in execution, it also looked strong enough to compete with his own version. This boy was anything short of amazing, he realized. You mastered the Rasengan. How long did it take for you to master it? Jiraiya asked Naruto with his eyes wide from shock. Well, the actual learning took me months, but I have trained for months on chakra control and thus it was easier to accomplish. Also, the notes dad left me helped me a lot too. When I could do it to a certain level, my Junin sensei allowed me to use Kage Bunshin to master it. Naruto said. A month. It took Minato 3 years to develop and master it. And I had to spend several months to master it. Jiraiya thought to himself. The Rasengan was an A-rank jutsu that would be impossible for most people to learn, and this kid did it in 1 month. Kid, I can honestly say that this was far more than anything I had ever expected. Jiraiya said, praising Naruto. Don't tell Sandaime-ji-chan though. He doesn't know that I mastered it. I'll show him during the finals of the Chunin exam. Naruto asked Jiraiya. Not to worry, kid, I won't tell anything. So what else did you learn? Jiraiya said to Naruto. Well, I started on the Hiraishin and made some excellent progress on developing the necessary seals, but I'll still need time to form the correct order to put them in. Naruto said. Yeah, your dad had a very hard time doing those things as well. Don't worry, you'll get it eventually. So you're competing in the Chunin exam. What's your opponent like? Jiraiya said, actually getting excited by Naruto's abilities. Naruto then told him about who he had to fight and just how strong Gaara really was. He told Jiraiya about how Gaara had beaten Lee very badly by using his sand and how he was a little worried since he didn't know how to fight him. He told him about how Gaara's sand was both offensive and defensive, so that he would have to find a way to defeat that. So, you were wandering around trying to come up with a plan to defeat this Gaara? Jiraiya asked. Yeah, but so far I haven't really thought of something. It's really frustrating, you know. Naruto sighed. He had been thinking for some time now on how to beat Gaara, but no ideas formed in his head. It was like his mind and brain refused to help him. It started to piss him off too. How about I teach you something? I owe it to your dad to help you out a little. Besides, if I help you, I can say that I helped train 2 Hokages. Imagine how the ladies would react hearing that. Jiraiya said with a small LED smile on his face. Really? You would help me? Thanks, Ero Sennin, this will be great. Naruto exclaimed. This would help him a lot, he realized. Or not, the guy was one of the legendary Sannin, so he was bound to know some really good jutsu or something that could help him become stronger. Ero Sennin. The hell, Gaki? What did I do to deserve such a name? Jiraiya yelled. Your AL and the Toad Sennin are together, that becomes Ero Sennin. Now what will you teach me? Naruto said, trying to find out what he was learning. Fine, come with me. Jiraiya said to Naruto while muttering something about brats who didn't respect their elders. He led Naruto to a large open space away from the village. He figured he could teach the kid how to summon toads seeing as he was the carrier for the contract. Naruto followed, still wondering what he was going to learn. Jiraiya took him to a large clearing just outside the village where they had plenty of space to practice away from the prying eyes of the villagers and fellow shinobi. Tell me, Gaki, what do you know about summoning? Jiraiya asked. Summoning. Well, I know that you, Tsunade and Snakeface each have a different summon. You have toads, Tsunade has slugs and Snakeface has snakes. I also know from Jichin that he has the ape summon and that Anko has the snake contract as well. Naruto finished. That's right, Gaki, now your dad had the toad summon as well. Did you know that? Jiraiya said while raising an eyebrow at Naruto nickname for Orochimaru. Yeah, I knew that. Naruto said. Who didn't know about his dad and Gamabunta? It was like common knowledge for all Konoha shinobi. They had special history lessons about the fourth after all. It was also one of the only lessons where Naruto truly paid attention since the Yondaime had been his hero for years. Would you like a chance to have the same contract as your dad? Jiraiya asked, already knowing the answer. He recognized a lot of Minato's behavior in Naruto. It was like a trip to the past for him. It made him somewhat happy and sad at the same time. Are you kidding me, Ero Sennin? What do you think? Of course I would like that. Naruto said while getting excited at the thought of being able to summon toads. Never had he thought of one day having such an opportunity. Only an idiot would refuse such an honor, and Naruto wasn't an idiot. Jiraiya smiled and told Naruto to back up a little, which he promptly did. Seeing Naruto had taken some distance, Jiraiya bit his thumb, drawing some blood, and started the necessary hand seals and then slammed his hand into the ground yelling out, Kuchio's no jutsu. Naruto watched as a large cloud of smoke filled the area, waiting patiently for the smoke to disappear. When he finally was able to see what Jiraiya had summoned, he grinned, already imagining the kind of things he would be able to do. Jiraiya had summoned a large toad easily twice the size of Naruto and stood on his back looking down at Naruto, knowing he had impressed the kid. This was the kind of reaction he had hoped for. Hopefully now the kid would stop calling him Ero Sennin. Really, kids these days have no respect for their elders, he thought. What do say now, Gaki? Admit you're impressed, right? Jiraiya said. I'm impressed, but you're still Ero Sennin to me, Ero Sennin. Naruto said, trying to annoy Jiraiya. In truth though, he was very impressed by summoning. Sure, he had seen Anko summon some of her snakes before, but this was different. Toads were impressive and this one seemed to be strong enough to kick his ass. Damn it, Gaki, show me some respect, will you? Jiraiya said while tears run from his eyes. Respect is earned, not given, but fine, I'm very impressed, okay? Naruto said. Fair enough, Gaki, now come here so you can sign the contract. Jiraiya said, satisfied that he at least impressed the blonde shinobi. Naruto made his way over to the toad and Jiraiya eager to sign the contract. The toad dropped a large scroll and unrolled it while Jiraiya said that Naruto would have to sign his name in blood. Naruto nodded and took off one glove and made a small cut in his thumb. He then wrote his name on the scroll just next to where his dad had signed it as well. Naruto felt really good and proud about himself. He didn't want to become a complete copy of his dad, but he felt like he was following in his footsteps. After signing the contract, the scroll was sealed again and given back to the big toad. He looked at Jiraiya for further instructions. Jiraiya told him the necessary seals and waited, curious what kind of toad Naruto would be able to summon. Kuchio's number jutsu. Naruto yelled after doing the hand seals and slamming his hand on the ground. Just like Jiraiya, a cloud of smoke appeared and both Naruto and Jiraiya tried to see through it. They were impatient to see who he had summoned. After a few seconds the smoke disappeared and revealed a small toad the size of a Kamaru. Yao, do you have a treat? The small toad asked Naruto while sticking out his paw. No I don't. I'm sorry, I didn't know you wanted a treat. Naruto said, amused. This toad looked like a fun guy, maybe they could become friends. No problem, just asking. The name is Gamakichi, by the way. Are you the one who summoned me? Gamakichi said, introducing himself. Nice to meet you, Gamakichi. I'm Naruto, and yes, I'm the one who summoned you. Naruto said, starting to like the energetic little toad. While Naruto and Gamakichi were talking and introducing each other, Jiraiya stood by the side and observed both of them. He wouldn't tell Naruto, but he was secretly impressed since Naruto had succeeded in summoning on his first try. He had expected Naruto to summon a tadpole or something like that, but not a young toad like Gamakichi. Minato, Kushina, the two of you can be proud of your son. He's strong and has a good head on his shoulders, he thought, smiling. Well done, Naruto. Not bad for a first summon. Gamakichi, could you tell your dad about Naruto signing the contract? Tell him he's the Yondaim's legacy and he'll understand. Jiraiya said, addressing the toad. Gamakichi nodded and told Naruto goodbye and asked him to summon him once in a while to play. Naruto smiled and said that he would definitely do that. Gaki, I suppose that since you know about your parents you'll also know about the Kyuubi? Jiraiya asked. Of course I know about the Kyuubi. I have known it since the day I graduated from the academy. Naruto said, wondering why Jiraiya was interested in the Kyuubi. Then you must know that the Kyuubi could provide you with a lot of chakra and strength. You should learn how to control and use that chakra. Jiraiya said. No, I refuse. There's no way I'll ever use that chakra. Naruto said. Gaki, it would make you stronger than everyone. It would be foolish not to profit from this. Jiraiya said, not really understanding why Naruto was against this. The Kyuubi's chakra would make Naruto so much stronger. Ero Sennin, for as long as I can remember the villages have hated me because of the Kyuubi. One of my dreams is to be acknowledged as me and not as the Kyuubi child or demon child. If I start using that chakra, then there's no way they'll ever accept me. Besides, I don't need the Kyuubi's chakra to become strong. My dad didn't have the Kyuubi and he became one of the strongest shinobi in the history of the leaf. If he can do it on his own, then so can I. I will prove to everyone that you don't need a Kekkei Genkai to be strong, just like my dad did before me. Naruto said with conviction to Jiraiya. Huh, you're just like your dad. Did you know he told me the exact same words when I started training him? Very well, I won't tell you how to live your life, and I actually respect and understand your choice very well. But if you ever change your mind about it, let me know. Jiraiya said. I won't change my mind. I never go back on my words, so you might as well forget that idea. And I made a promise to Anko-chan never to rely on anything but my own strength. Naruto answered. After talking a bit about things like jutsus, summoning and shinobi stuff, Naruto thanked Jiraiya for allowing him to sign the Toad contract. Jiraiya said that it was no problem at all and that if he needed help in his training, all he had to do was summon Gamakichi and give him a message. He explained that summons could be used to relay messages and the like. He also told him that he would be around for a while, so if he wanted they could meet once or twice during the next month. Naruto eagerly accepted the offered help and promised that if he needed something he would contact him. Feeling much better about himself, he went home realizing that it was already late and that training would have to wait until tomorrow. He didn't find a way to fight and defeat Gaara, but still he was very content about how the day had played out. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.